Hello, friends. Welcome back to Crazy for Retro. Norm is taking a break today. I'm just going to be the one showing you all the fun thrifted pumpkins and ghosts that I found for many years. I hope you enjoy this. It is 5 o'clock already. I should be making dinner, but it's taken me all day to clean. This is how the dining room turned out on a whim. I've got some new things, but what's taken me so long to get this video done is that I decided to change the milk glass plate wall. Sorry, my dining room light is in the way there. I wanted to add 2 vintage large owl plaques. I did have them for quite a while in the stairwell going downstairs, but I thought they would be very fun to look at a lot more from up here. I don't tend to look at the walls when I'm walking downstairs. And of course, I'd be able to show them to you more. They are Miller Studio vintage plaques, and they do have kind of a pearly finish. So I ended up, because of those 2, and because I have had so many of these fun reticulated metal shelves in the closets, and when Norm decided to redo the bedroom at the top of the stairs, right up through that wall, it's the turquoise bedroom, he decided to redo that in a Western theme because he had a lot of Western collectibles that he wanted to see in there. So I lost the displaying of the flower one and another flower one and 2 of the diamond ones that were in there. So they just end up being hung up somewhere in the basement or put in a closet, and I really want to look at them. And I did thrift another one down towards the end. I'll show you. I tried to use holes that were already in the wall, like this tiny little cute shelf up here. There was a nail up there from a plate, and I think I made 2 new holes here, I confess. I just found this in September for $4. Norm sprayed it. It was getting a little rusty, so he made it very, very pretty and clean. And he spray painted that one for me at the same time. This white shelf was there. It's a sconce, I should say. It was in that corner, and it's hiding the cord very nicely. It helps push it over because it goes up into that pot. I did keep that there, but I wanted to squeeze this one in because I do love this style too. And that is a new silly yawning pumpkin that I found maybe August up in St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin at Family Pathways. It was probably like $3.75, I think. This one I've shown off and on in the living room. Once in a while I would put it up in the corner over the glass round table where our radio is sitting in there. So I don't know that I can tell you what video it was in. Probably a year ago I probably put some Halloween things on it, little things like this. But I've had the cute little Japan Scotty dog and orange kitty for a long time. I believe this scarecrow has just been thrifted this month, and the little teeny, oh my goodness. And the little tiny pumpkin is a salt or pepper which I think is very fun to find. It doesn't bother me at all. And same with this old plastic dog, Bloodhound, I assume. That is a salt and pepper set, but there was only one, and I was very happy to buy it for $1. That's an Avon cat I've shown you before. Thrifted votives. I have shown this on the wall up on the far end over the years. It is a very spooky looking dog plate. Don't know what kind of dog it's supposed to be, or if there's some story behind it. I don't know what it is, but it is just weird looking to me. But I still like it. It's the smallest plate I have. I might have, I have one with a painted woodpecker on it too, and it might be about the same size, but you can see it's really tiny. My cat one I put up here. That is just a thrifted owl. It does light up, but I think it glows kind of reddish. So you know, I've had this shelf for many years, and I only paid $14 for it at an occasional sale. So all of these have been thrifted this year or last year. The pumpkin votives and the silly face one is a year ago at least, and that one also a year ago. So silly. I was very happy to find them. These are more recent. Down here I had thrifted this Georges Briard plate quite a few years back, 99 cents at Bibles for Missions. I know there's a lot of reflection in it, but it's very pretty. And that was purchased several years ago, that really pretty teapot. When I saw that and saw the pretty gold on it and the way it was painted, I thought, wow, that really looks like Halloween to me. Norm just found this gorgeous, wild Hager vase. It's bigger than 4 others that I have in all the different colors. I thought it was a little bigger when he showed it to me. We had gone back to a very close by new, very, very retro mall called Wild Vintage Collective. There are lots and lots of vendors there, and they have fabulous stuff. So Norm happened to walk into an area ahead of me, and he saw that and brought it up to me, and of course my eyes got very big. That is a much brighter orange than the one that I have that I kind of consider orange. It's more of your bittersweet, deeper orangey red. So I did not have anything in this color. I have pots that are in that bright golden orange. It's because they've mixed so much yellow with it. But yeah, that is just fabulous. So I was extremely excited. This was a fun find this year at the Goodwill. Very silly. I'm not going to remember the prices of all of these things. It's very difficult. I actually sat down this morning and looked up a lot of pictures, and I wrote on 2 sides of an index card and another side. I'd be looking through that list for a long time, I guess, trying to find the prices of everything, but I don't know if it's going to jog my memory. My memory just isn't what it used to be. I'm sorry, but they're all very, very cheap prices, and I'm always thrilled to find such fabulous deals in the antique malls and thrift stores around the Twin Cities here, and Wisconsin too. So that is the owl plate that matches similar design to the cat one I just showed you. And I did paint the copper parts on these owls. they were gold, all that trim, and they were scuffed up, a lot of paint loss, so I redid them carefully. But that is the original finish. The white part, it is a little bit pearly. Over here, I found all 3 of these early this year, and I'm not remembering where I got the scarecrows, but I think it may have been at Hutchinson, Minnesota. I'm not sure which mall though, but this was somewhere else, like the Pink Squirrel occasional sale. But I'm just not remembering. I'd actually have to pull out the receipts and look through tiny print. It's just really, really difficult for me. They were a deal, good deal. Very reasonable. I was happy to find them. Oh, and I added this. I just found this pearl finish iridescent. It is shaded, the wing looks shaded, but it is all a pearly finish. And that was at Family Pathways up north of us. And I thought it would be really fun to add to the wall because of the owls. You know how I love birds. So that is what the wall looks like, and I'll tell you about my other major project. My brother gave me many clocks, and I've always wanted to display them, so I have been up and down, up and down, up and down on a ladder for 2 weeks, trying to get all these plates redone, the shelves. Didn't have to get on a ladder for that, but all of those clocks up there, so we'll go look at them later. Let's first finish looking here. It isn't real dark out yet, so I don't know if this is good enough without my camera flash on. I put the only two Joanna Parker mugs that I have in here. I only bought the pumpkin and the cat. She has adorable stuff, but it is expensive, and I tend to thrift things more, but I went to a wonderful chocolate factory. It's their main factory and store. I don't know if that's a proper word to use for a chocolate place, but it's Abdallah Chocolates, and that was several years ago. And those mugs were in their gift shop. I knew nothing about Joanna Parker at the time. So that's all I bought at full price, but I would not typically be buying a lot of her things just because I don't want to spend the money. I have more fun thrifting things. Maybe this would be better so you're not getting as much glare from me standing in front of it. So I just put some of my fun, I believe, Fire King mugs on each side there that I would typically put out in the kitchen, but I found 3 of these vintage plastic fall plates that were so cute. Found them at a thrift store. I think Bibles for Missions for 50 cents each. So I thought right away I would love to put those in the back of the hutch. This was a new purchase, and I think it was like $3 somewhere, which was really a steal. And you've seen the beaded pumpkin I had last year. This is the new beaded pumpkin. that I found this year. So I did have her last year, and she was thrifted too for probably $1 something a couple years ago. Oh, and I just found this crazy floral stems, but I just got them 2 days ago. They were 70% off. So I got a real deal. Those two I put in there because it's an orange pumpkin, and over here, because he's a black cat, I just put the golden foliage in there. That is what is on the top of the hutch and inside. This is going to be a long video. I hope you don't mind. I will come back to the clocks with a little more closer look and more detail, and tell you all of them that are vintage. Hopefully where I got them, mostly my brother, but 3 of them, I believe I got 3 of them from Wild Vintage Collective. And that was one of them. It's probably a Spartus, and it's wood look, just a wood look. It's plastic, so very lightweight. $20. I was thrilled. That was from my brother. I'll just go down this side for now. I'll have to get up on a step stool. But this one is new, and it is running, and it runs very quiet. I don't like listening to a whole bunch of clocks ticking, so most of these are not working. Only a few. You can get them in different colors. They're so cute. I've shown these probably 3 years in a row now, so I won't linger on them. Oh, I did find this a year ago at least. So I don't have the 3rd scarecrow planter up there like I normally do. He's not a Lefton one, so I did not put him up there, but this was such a cute pumpkin pear, and they're very narrow. It's a very narrow piece of ceramic, not real heavy. But these 2 are Lefton. I've always been tickled to have those. This little guy was thrifted, and we found another one at a garage sale just yesterday, a bigger one, and we made a offer. She didn't have prices on things, but I bought quite a few things from her. I've had this guy for quite a while. Those are original eyes. I did not glue them on. He is the type of ceramic piece that hangs off. So I thought I'd let him perch up here. This is what the shelving looks like this Halloween. I was so happy to find 3 new pumpkin hot pads. 2 of them are on the refrigerator front that are jack-o'-lanterns. The 3rd one was just a plain pumpkin on the side over there. But 59 cents, that's how cheap they are. Oh, and they're gorgeous. Yeah, so I'll have fun showing those to you. I just thrifted this really cool kind of quilted little centerpiece cloth. Very nice fall colors, and I like the fact that it had black in it. So it's not really meant to be Halloween, but it worked nicely, I thought. These are so good. I cannot believe they taste as good as they do. I was going to check out at Michael's a couple weeks ago, and somebody had decided not to take this tub, a plastic tub of these orange flavored, I don't know what you'd call them, jelly type candies, sugared candies. And because they were sitting there, I just asked her, did somebody decide not to buy this? And she said yes. I said, well, I'll take it, but I didn't know they would taste as good as they do. They're just wonderful. This was $9.99 at Bethesda Thrift, and they had every holiday out. Every holiday. It was like August, maybe. And this was $9.99. And we did go on senior days, which was Mondays for them. So you get 25% off. But it's very vintage styled. But it's just made in China. But it seems very quality though. And I just thrifted this at Goodwill, a little basket. So I thought it would be cute to put some Brock's candy corn in there, which Norm likes. I'm not big on it. Let's go on to this gorgeous, very, very yellow and orange Treasure Craft apple for chips and dip or apples and dip. That was, can you believe it, $2 at the State Fairgrounds antique show that we went to. I think it was October 1st and 2nd, something like that. Yeah, I could not believe it. It's in excellent condition. I think he had it marked $2 because there was some like hard water stains, calcium deposits around the edges. Don't ask me how anybody would put a plant in there. I don't know. But maybe he thought they wouldn't come out and he couldn't sell it for much, but I had a feeling I would get it out. All it took was a little vinegar, some elbow grease, and they just peeled right off. So it's perfect. $2. Treasure Craft is getting very, very expensive. Yeah, it's quite a beautiful piece. There's just no chips. It's beautiful. $2. I felt pretty lucky. I also found this adorable splatter mug. Isn't that fun? And I can't tell you what I paid for it, but it was in a thrift store. So cute. Had that for a while. I've had this for quite a while. Norm spray painted it for me. It was not looking so great, but I've had that for several years. I thought the fun paper straws would be cute in there. Over here is something that my brother had. It's called a bakery bin. It's in excellent condition. It's a very pale copper. Copper pieces seem to come in different shades. So it has a creamy logo, or creamy design, I should say. So cute. We always got bakery sitting around here. We go to Panera and get their muffins or treats. So it's a creamy top on it. Plastic handle looks a little more white. And it does say West Bend on it, the handle. I thought it was really fun finding these coasters. A set of coasters at the garage sale where we got one of those big melted popcorn jack-o'-lanterns from this very sweet gal. She had those, so I took them. They're in excellent condition. I did wash them. I've had this for a long time. It is a lucite tea bag holder, and I bought 2 of these at a garage sale. They are, I'm not sure, what do you call that when it changes when you move? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show it real well. It'll be a different view of the cat, like that. And then when you come back over this way, the cat changes. I think they were from Kmart, but they're very shiny. So cute. There you can see how that cat changes. So they're for kids, I'm sure, but I thought it was so cute. That I'm using for a sugar bowl. A couple more Fire King mugs, I think. My brother's percolator. I love it. So I just took out some of my old tins over here. I found this really fun one with such a cool lid on it, plastic lid. Only one. I don't know if it was a whole set that somebody used to have, but that's all there was. I don't even remember where, but quite a few years ago. It looks Halloween to me just because of the colors. I have a collection of vintage lucite night lights. He's a lot cuter without the light glowing through him, but they're glittery. And they had a couple different designs, but I have many figures in those night lights. I just thought it was really fun finding them for $1 or $2. Years ago, I thrifted that cute little hat. It's so cute. Just thought I'd set it up there on top of my fun cat canister set that I found last year at the Treasure Shed in Hutchinson. Another thrifted votive. I have 2 of those. I was happy to find the second one probably years later. All of these are newly thrifted this year, I believe. I don't know if the end one was last year or not. I don't like starlings. Oof. I don't know if those are blackbirds maybe, but I do not like starlings. That's kind of Halloweenish, isn't it? See, we have corn out there, and that's what they're attracted to. So let's go back to these, all thrifted this year. Very cute. So I have 2 scarecrows, 2 pumpkins. Well, there's pumpkins there too, the ghosts. This was so cute. I think I found it at Goodwill early on. It had what would be a battery pack in it, I think, for the eyes. And the eyes were plastic, clear plastic stuck in there. But it just didn't work very well. The battery pack had wires and everything, and it didn't look very good. So I pulled that out and pulled the white eyes out of it, the plastic eyes. Like I said, it was a very, very flat finish. I showed it on Instagram with the little tea lights in there. But I just the other day asked Norm if he would spray it for me with the Rust-Oleum clear coat, crystal clear coat. And it brings out so much detail, so much better. I love it now. It was really pretty boring, but they're pretty cute. So that was a fun find. And this guy is really cute. I also thrifted this at Bibles for Missions for, I think, $1.99 or 99. I don't remember, but I put some string of lights in there. It's so lightweight. I think it's just a kid's candy bucket, but it's nylon, so it collapses for storage. I'm going to put my light on too. It might show the yellow in his face better. There you go, yeah. Yeah, and I also thrifted the little leaf bush. So I thought it would be a fun idea to just put the string of lights in there that I just picked up at Hobby Lobby, I think. Or Michael's. They both have them. Yeah, so he was fun. Let's see what's down here. Here's the second crazy. Yeah, I forget what you call this, because I thought when you buy a pin, a brooch, that would do that with the eyes, or like a little coin purse. They used to call it a blinky, because it was typically their eyes that would change from being open or closed. So I'm probably not doing a very good job. I have 2 mugs like this, and I was so happy to thrift that at a Goodwill too. I could not believe that was there. I was thrilled. It was probably like $3, and oh man, that was really, really nice. Now, this set was my brother's, and I've seen these in thrift stores, seen people on Instagram thrifting them, and they've been pretty rough condition. My brother did not use this. He had it displayed way up high on some shelving. So you can see, yes, it is used. And I was just going to give it to Bibles for Missions or leave it for the estate sale. But I think I brought it home because the major one, I should say the biggest one here, the lid was in terrible condition and the paint was all chipped up. So I asked Norm if he would sand it as best as he could and spray paint it. It's not perfect, but we should do that to these. At least they're not chippy, so they would spray nice. You can see there's some wear on it. And I already dusted them. But I took some paper towels to keep cleaning. That's how fast you get dust on them. So that didn't help much. Should have done it when I was all through cleaning. So this was the last rolling pin that I decided to have here in our home, and I just realized that I believe it was from my brother's house. So this one has black handles. Are any of you familiar with the old supermarket called Applebaum's? Boy, that's old. So I found these at a thrift store long time ago. I think it's fun finding things like that that have advertising on them. This was my brother's. He had like 3 or more sets, probably 4 sets. He had big sets. These are very tiny. So I only put 1 set out, and he had 2 sets of these measuring cups. And this was his too. It's much more pale copper. This is quite orange. Now, I found this at the Goodwill, the large Pyrex treat glass dish with, or bowl with the nice orange lid on it. That was at least a couple years ago I found that. And I just bought this at the Pink Elephant antique shop in Hopkins, Minnesota. That was a little bit of a splurge, but I just loved it because it had the orange on it. I've thrifted other ones that were just all white, but Yeah, with some fresh walnuts in there to grind up. So many of you know already that that's my mother's old Sunbeam Mixmaster. And I've had this plastic tray that I thrifted quite a few years back. Wow, I can't even guess. But it's always fun. Very fun graphics. Now, we went to the October. Yeah, it's the second Wednesday, starting on a Wednesday, at the Pink Squirrel weekend, long weekend sale. Really love going there. Always find great stuff. This was on a display in the front entrance where they put a lot of very cool black items. It is a vintage, very, very heavy picture, the diamond point pattern. I think it was $24.95, so that was a splurge. But I knew it would just be really, really fun to use this for my Halloween video and my October decor. Norm purchased the hands, and I didn't even know he was doing that. They are very funny. I told him afterwards, after I opened them up at home, I said, I suppose that's for serving salad. He said, oh really? I didn't know that. But that's pretty cute. That's fun sticking them in there. So I have shown this before, that it was my brother's. Happy to have it, and the grease container. It does have a piece underneath the lid that's aluminum, I suppose. I don't know. So if you poured the grease in there, it would catch the particles. So that is right under the lid as a separate piece. So I'm happy to have that. And this was another thing he had hanging up with all of the measuring cups and things like that under the shelf where he displayed all of his copper canister sets and extra pieces. That was in his kitchen. Special shelf for all of his copper things. I thrifted this. I thought it would be funny for you to see and ask if any of you have ever used one. I haven't. I'm not sure who would have made this, but it's in pretty good condition. Teflon. They didn't scratch it up bad. Yeah, I could probably tell on the bottom. Yep, that's what I thought. Miro. Made in the USA. I can't read. Manitowoc, Wisconsin. So I thought you'd get a kick out of seeing that. I did show this very fun owl trivet a couple times now, I bet. I think it's very fun. And I've shown you that. That was thrifted. All of these mugs are thrifted. I found the other two last year at Family Pathways. And I found the middle one this year, I think at Bibles for Missions. Very, very cheap. I didn't know that they had made them. I thought they were all going to be like that if I ever saw any. So I was kind of surprised that was the same mold, but they definitely glazed it different, and they put all those little pock marks on it. Kind of different. So these are salt and pepper sets. I couldn't come up with anything that would fit on my little spice rack. Most of the salt and peppers I have, they just were a little too wide. We decided to get these in Cannon Falls at their antique mall, and the bows were a reddish color, so I painted them orange because I thought these guys looked spooky, and Norm did too. They're rag dolls, but the people that were selling them were calling them scarecrows. They do kind of resemble the scarecrow look, but they are rag dolls. That's how they're being sold. Little Japan salt and pepper. I've had these mugs for a very long time, and I just thrifted this pair of tiny sconces at Family Pathways in St. Croix Falls. So cheap, I forget how much, but it was ridiculous. What, $2 or something? They were taped together. I was very, very happy, and Norm did clean them up. They were rusty. It's in my video. They're really cool, I think, and they don't hold anything very deep either, so these mugs worked out cute. I always had hot pads hanging there, or pot holders, whichever you want to call it. I guess they're one and the same, so I shouldn't worry about what I call them. The definition is actually the same thing. I found this really fun, would you call that a trivet too? Probably. A warming stand? I don't know. But it's very nicely made. And I'm not sure what I would put on top of it. You could put a casserole dish on top of it. But I thought it was really neat to show you without anything sitting on it. Norm thought it was pretty cool too. So this is new. I was so tickled to see this. I already forgot where I got it. I don't know where I was, but it's just adorable. Yeah, maybe it was a whole set at one time. I don't know. Do you know? I've never seen it before. So Halloween. And that is a new pumpkin this year, I believe. Oh, I forgot to light his little light, which I didn't even put in there. Sorry, buddy, I missed lighting you up. There's my owl napkin holder, lucite, that I have shown you before. I have this one that's new. Yeah, that was, I think, $8. Not cheap, but it's really, really in good condition. It's simple, but it was rust, and I just cannot find orange like this. You just don't see hardly any orange recipe boxes. Orange was probably not, you know, a popular kitchen color way back when we were making these. So you've seen these. I just didn't have enough orange ones. That one's pretty good, the Van Camp pork and beans, and this is one of my newest ones. Very happy to find that at, I think that was also the Pink Squirrel. Really, really a deal. $5 maybe? In mint condition. So that is very nice for fall. And I just found this too. I already forgot where I found that, but that was a very fun one. That was thrifted too. So what do we have over here? Well, I wonder how long this video is already. You're gonna have to come back the next day to watch the other half, right? I thrifted this a long time ago, but this was fun to find for little to nothing. They're so cheap at Bibles for Missions, 49.59 cents. So I washed them. They come out very nice. I decided to buy this somewhere. Maybe it was Hutchinson, and I glued a magnet piece, you know, like what you'd put on a business card, or what little advertisements come on for your fridge. Something real flat, so I could just put it on the fridge because he's so retro, sticking really well. Yeah, and he's cute. All of that texture is what's so fun. really graphic. Darling graphics, I should say. Yeah, pretty neat. Thrifted this crazy little thing several years ago. One of my fun hot pads, I started sticking those felt stickers from probably the dollar store or Dollar Tree or wherever. I used them a couple years ago on my Pyrex, and so I still had them. They peeled off, and decided to stick them on some of these hot pads up here. As you'll see, I just found this, I think at that garage sale, little beady eyes. Somebody crocheted the little bat. This is a very big quilted one. They're all thrifted. I've always loved this one because it's ultra suede. Oh, I do have my light on. Probably helps. I get so excited when I find one of these. Pretty fancy with blue eyes, right? Wow. So that's just a really nice, soft, kind of feels like brushed cotton. He's a big one too. And that's a big corduroy one that I've had for many years. Lots of stitching. And a green stem. This one I've had for many years also feels like a very nice cotton material. And this is a new one. I think he was like 49 cents. I think it, yeah, I honestly can't remember exactly where I found it. It could have been Family Pathways. Grouchy look. Because all my others are pretty mild. But that guy, he's spooky. So I made a magnet out of this cake, vintage cake decoration. I've had things like this, a lot of things like this in these tins up here for many years. Bought these tins many years ago, and I have cookie cutters in them, vintage cake pokes, all sorts of small things like that. And this was a coaster, one single coaster that I decided to glue a magnet on. So that is the fun pumpkin fridge. I just love putting those up, and so happy when I find a new one. So I couldn't believe I didn't find any last year, and I find 3 this year. Yeah, it was great. Over here I found these 2 old cast iron trivets. They're very old. One is from the 60s, I think I found out on the internet, but the other one said 1949. Can you believe it? They were, you know, kind of sad looking. I had Norm spray paint them with flat black, and I think they look just wonderful. A lot of design on them. I never thought I would like old black trivets, but when you think about it, for Halloween decor, that's kind of fun, isn't it? I like the tile ones with fall design on them, and I have a couple or more that have very fun fall colors on them that I'll probably use for Thanksgiving. So I don't have to talk about the Pyrex. Most of it is the yellow. A lot of the yellow and orange refrigerator dishes were from my brother, but I did collect the black snowflake, 2 of them. So it's just, you know, a variety of Pyrex bowls, and I don't think I have any like glass bake. I think this is all Pyrex. But I just found my second fun pumpkin at Bibles for Missions, I think. I think my sister Melissa said she gave me the other one over there last year, and I love it. I've had the mushroom mugs for several years here, these, but I just found these this summer at the Pink Elephant in Hopkins, Minnesota. I couldn't believe my eyes. Yeah, they are just so fun. I just love them. And I have another pair of mushroom mugs that are in browns, tans and browns. This darling creamer and sugar black milk glass was at Bibles for Missions. It's such a sweet set, mint condition, for $1.59 for the set. I just was thrilled. I decided to get this beautiful condition Pyrex snowflake one. It is not the huge one. These are the smaller size Pyrex casseroles at Wild Vintage Collective again. And they gave me 20% off. It was a $40 casserole, and I was gonna get it at $40. Little did I know that I was being offered 20% off. So I posted it on Instagram, and that was their request to get the 20% off. I was happy to do that. So many of you may have seen that post. Thank you so much for following me on Instagram. I do show special things like that now and then when I find the time. So that makes a fun stack there. And let's go over here. I have a business card in here. Molly is at the Wild Vintage Collective Mall, and when we went there 2 Saturdays ago at least, she was just moving in and setting up. She is Birchwood Vintage, and that is all her information. So she is on Instagram too, and she has a wonderful booth. So she gave us her name, Molly, and I'm following her on Instagram. So she took a picture of us holding this incredible owl creamer and sugar. I don't remember if it was like $20, 25. I'm sorry, I forget. You know, it's just too many things that Norm and I find, and I can't remember. I'd love to share it with you, but it was, you know, it wasn't a steal, but look at them. They're in mint condition. And I don't know if it has a maker on the bottom or not. Oh yes, it does. Lego? Have you ever heard of Lego? Yeah, I bet a lot of you have. So, boy, was I thrilled. That was our first trip to that mall. Yeah, so we were her first customers, and she just thought that was so fun. So she had us holding up the creamer and sugar, and took a picture and wished us well, and thanked us in a Instagram post. So that was very fun. We gave her our card, but she didn't really know of us. I do have that lit. So that's a new one, I think this year. I found those last year. These were Hallmark. Yeah, Hallmark. Just some more dishes up there that you've seen. I've shared all these before. I actually have the picture that matched those glasses, but I didn't take it down. New this year, I believe, that little pumpkin. And I had these last year. I found these at, I think, at the Goodwill or somewhere. Boy, I was really happy. It says Royal Crest in USA, so I don't know anything about them, but each side is different. They're different. These I've had for many years, and what's so great about them is that they have the same design on both sides. I have no idea if they're hobbyist or not, but I kind of doubt it because I think I've seen them before. But it's pretty fun that you can have the handles going different directions. And you still got that same owl. This is a Sears Roebuck design. They made dishes, very nice, heavy dishes and glassware. And we have some of the glasses. I didn't take out any glasses this year to put up here. Normally I do that, the cattail ones, with Thanksgiving, because I have more pheasant pictures, duck pictures, and glasses. So you've seen all these, but the pictures, the islip pictures, I've shown them before. There is a new one in the middle. I found these at Bibles for Missions. They have a cork top on them. I didn't light all the votives. I'm finding all of these this year, except for maybe a couple from last year. That is the new islip picture. I don't believe any of you have seen it yet. I might be wrong, but I don't think I've shown it. Norm picked it out. I wasn't over the moon. One of those. I wasn't over the moon about it, but I'm so glad he got it. I actually think it's very cool now. Very happy with it. So those are all new little votives I'm finding at, boy, I think I found 2 Christmas ones, 2 fall ones, and like 3 Halloween from this girl down the road, her garage sale. That was all part of a bundle. Oh, I just realized my barbed wire ones are up there. That's where I put them. I thought that would be kind of weird if I left them downstairs. So this is what I ended up with up here. A repeat from the center one there, so it repeats on this side, except that is a different pattern on that side. That's flowers, and this one is what, fruits and veggies? Yeah, they're probably promotional ones. And I've shown all of this in most of my videos. I know some of you are new, and I welcome you to our YouTube family. Thank you so much for subscribing, all of you new subscribers. It's just wonderful. We are very blessed to have so many kind people writing to us. We sure appreciate all of you. We can't thank you enough for your wonderful, fun, interesting, very kind comments. All of those crafts were from my brother. He gifted them to me quite a few years ago. and I collected all the milk glass up there. I love candy dishes with finials on them, so that's what I kept. I kind of went overboard on milk glass for many years, and I got it all very cheap for the most part, thrifting, especially all these fun planters. I love the planters too. And all my overflow is up here. I had a variety up here for about a year, and then I decided to just put the hobnail ones up here. And that is plenty. I think I'm even gonna thin out some of that. I'm sorry I can't reach too high here. But very, very good deals on all of that, and I think it's beautiful. But I think I'm gonna thin out. I'm gonna take down the ruffled ones, except that one compote there, because I have a set of compotes, a variety. But the ruffled ones I actually bought for my bedroom. And then now that I'm not using milk glass up there, I brought them all down here. But I don't think I want to use those. They're pretty, but I think I want to stick with a little more straighter lines. Let me tell you about this really cool ambiance Halloween video. Cozy Rain Ambiance is the name of the channel. I think I'm subscribed. I like their videos, so I will give you a link to this one in the description below. I don't know if I talked to you about my cat collection, but I normally have put more of them together, but one of them is up there, and one of them is on the left that I used to put in that grouping. I don't remember if I said anything about thrifting that Avon perfume bottle in there. I put the rhinestone eyes on it yesterday. It was very boring to me without the rhinestones. Yep, I think he's so much cuter now. I have had this cute pumpkin head scarecrow poke for many, many years. I have two of them actually. When I thrifted the second one, I was really happy to find it, but I didn't realize it was missing the little crow. But he's still cute. Just soft plastic Hong Kong poke. So I should back out here. I have had this beaded mat for many, many years, probably more than a decade. I used to pick up beaded, they were like doilies, large doilies like this, or they would be possibly considered a trivet even. But I've had them for a very, very long time. I don't use them very much. And two of these brass photos I did thrift at Bibles for Missions. Yep, they're cute, but this is something new. I just bought again at our very, very exciting store in Fridley, Minnesota. This is a vintage pair of owl candle holders. I found them there for $10 and I couldn't believe it. Norm spray painted across those plastic eyes because they were scuffed and looking a little dull. The owl candle holder itself does have a little bit of shine to it, so it was fine that he just you know, drifted past their eyes a couple times with the clear coat. And I did put some vintage lucite candles in them. So $10 for that set is really sweet. I'm going to take the light off because they're looking a little paler. I think you could see some more color, richer color on them without the light. Yeah, aren't they cute? That was a deal, I thought. And I just thrifted a whole bunch of vintage plastic candle rings at the Pink Squirrel the last time we went at the beginning of the month. I was so happy. They were more fall looking, you know, not Halloween looking. So this was a huge candle ring, and true confession, I just cut it in half. It doesn't do me any good. I'd have to put a pillar candle in the middle of it, and I just don't use pillar candles much. They're okay. I like the battery ones, to tell you the truth. So that's what I ended up with for the table. And Norm bought this for me at the Antique Mall of Rogers, only 5 miles up the highway from us. One of our very favorite antique malls. We go there often and find wonderful, wonderful mid-century things. Way too much fun. So he found this tablecloth and surprised me with it. It's a little faded. The black, you can tell, is faded. But that was sweet. He's always coming home and surprising me with something. So, I will have to do the clocks now and get up on a step stool. And I'm sorry this is such a long video, but a lot of new stuff to show you. I hope you don't mind. Sorry about the dining room light there. Okay, so I did show you this side. New. My brother's Wild Vintage Collective. $20. And it says, I don't know, it's really tiny print in the bottom by the 6. I think it's probably Spartus maybe. This one says General Electric. It's very mod. Very mod, kind of translucent plastic. You can see through to the wall. It needed some TLC. Like there were light scratches on it, but I put some polish on it. This was my brother's. This was from a really fun antique store in Buffalo, Minnesota. I think it was like $12. Was it, Norm, or 12 or 14?
It was 12.
Yeah, isn't that cute? So that's a General Electric. And it looks like burl wood. Let me put... It looks like burl wood. And I think it's dark brown on the sides.
It is.
Darling. And I've had this for a long time. I found it for $6 maybe in Rogers, at a different antique mall in Rogers. Is that called Antiques 101? I'm sorry. Norm should be doing this because this is very hard on my arms. It's metal. And I can't read what it says on it, but that's not real important.
Can I grab it?
Yeah. And the red one is new. So cute. Look at, I like the little pattern around the face.
It says Park Madison.
Yeah, it's very, very sweet. It's pretty quiet. So that one's running, and the one next to it is from my brother's house. And the one next to that is from my brother's house. What does the white one say? What brand? Wes.
WESTCLOX.
Yeah, clocks.
Yep.
Sounds plural. But the yellow one is so cool.
That's General Electric.
Very Very nice. Very vintage. The black teapot next to that is new. It said it was going to be quiet, but it's not as quiet. And that's Amazon. I found these new 4 new clocks I got on Amazon. The one down below, the wicker one, that was the first one I bought at Wild Vintage Collective. And I think that might have been like 14, something like that. I don't know. And I debated.
Says New Haven
New
Quartz.
Yeah, New Haven. So I left it there the first time we were there. I did not get it. I thought it was too big. Compared to my brother's clocks, I figured it was going to be too big, but it worked out. Now the red one down below is new, and they said that was going to be quiet, and it's not that quiet. It ticks. It doesn't run smoothly. It makes little ticks. So I don't want to be hearing a whole bunch of ticking going on.
It's got a clock timer on it.
Yeah, it really works, the little timer. So that was fun. So maybe, I might find some very cute vintage ones and replace these brand new ones with something very fun eventually. But I had holes on the wall all over here, up and down, from the milk glass plates. I can still keep looking for vintage ones because they're so cool.
And where are you going to put them?